Hi, good morning and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making 3 different breakfast and brunch ideas that you can make at home for your family or for a get-together. We're going to start with the sweet potato hash, and this is one of my favorites. It's very easy to make. I am making it as a small portion, but I will link all the recipes down below. This is just 1 cup of 1 cup of sweet peppers, 1 cup of onions, and 1 cup of sweet potatoes cubed. Now you can use red onion if you prefer. Today I am just using regular onions, and I already had my sweet potatoes cubed, so I'm just taking out 1 cup. Gonna mix that all in the bowl. And next it's gonna be 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and then you're going to add salt and pepper to taste, or if you want to add some other seasonings like thyme or garlic powder, you can do that as well. I really like the sweet potato breakfast in the morning myself. It's easy, something that I can already have prepared, and it tastes really good. Sometimes I add an egg over it. Sometimes I add bacon in it as well. But you can pretty much add, do what you like, what you normally like to have for breakfast. This is a really simple recipe that I'm doing today, but I think that you would definitely enjoy it. So we're going to mix that all together. And then what you're going to do is take a baking sheet lined already with parchment paper. You're going to go ahead and pour all of that onto the baking sheet. And I just kind of make sure that I have all of the seasoning, everything, just spread it out into a thin layer so it's all cooked nice and thoroughly. Then we're going to pop that into an oven. Okay, I decided last minute that I wanted to put a little bit of garlic powder on top of mine, so that is what I'm doing. Then you're going to place it into an oven at 425, and you're going to cook it for 30 minutes. And here it is, all plated. It is so delicious. I think you're really going to enjoy it. Okay, moving on to the next recipe, which is the Hawaiian roll breakfast sliders. I really enjoyed the recipe that Blessed Jess has shown over on her YouTube channel for her appetizers for Super Bowl. I decided let's try it and make it a breakfast slider. So that is what I'm doing. As you can see, I did not use the correct knife to cut these Hawaiian rolls in half. This is just a package of 12. You really should use a larger knife, not like what I had. And you're just going to cut through. And I really should have used the correct knife. From here, you're going to take the bottom half of the rolls and you're going to place it into a greased baking sheet. Or a baking dish, really. That's what I used, yes. And what I did is I had some shredded bacon, some shredded cheddar cheese, and of course, everything bagel seasoning, garlic powder, and I scrambled up some eggs beforehand. Again, all the recipe information will be down below. So I'm just breaking it up, making it into smaller pieces, and I'm just going to spread it over the Hawaiian rolls, just as much as I can, evenly. This is another recipe that you can make ahead. Definitely, it heats really well. As you can see, the eggs were still hot. I had just made them. Okay, so we're just going to spread them over. And basically what we're going to do is just layer all the ingredients. Very similar to the other Hawaiian slider sandwiches that you've seen made. Okay, and I believe I used about 6 cups of eggs, or 6 to 8 eggs. So now I'm just taking the bacon and I'm placing it over the eggs. That day I was using chicken bacon, I believe, or turkey bacon. I can't remember. But, you know, you can certainly use regular bacon, whatever. You can even probably use some ground sausage on top of it as well. Or even, yeah, I think you can use I was going to say ground turkey. I guess you can as well. And now you're just going to sprinkle all of that cheese, and I think I used 2.5 cups of cheese. And you're just going to spread it all over the top of the bacon and the eggs. This really turned out really delicious. I ended up cutting each one of the sandwiches into individual pieces and wrapping them in cellophane, and my husband was taking them to work for breakfast. Very easy. Okay. Okay, so now I am carefully placing the top of the rolls on top of the eggs, bacon, and the cheese. And what I did was I melted a stick of butter, and now I'm going to go ahead and add all the seasonings to it. And you can add again as whatever kind of seasoning you want. I went with garlic powder, and then we're going to just pour it all over the top of the Hawaiian buns. And then I just kind of brushed as much of the garlic powder that was left behind all on top of make sure I had covered each of the Hawaiian rolls in the butter and the garlic mixture. This really did come out very flavorful, I have to say. I will probably definitely be doing this one again. And it's easy, pretty easy. Like I said, definitely you can make this ahead of time. Okay, so now I'm going to take the everything bagel seasoning, and I'm just going to very generously shake it on top of those Hawaiian rolls. Okay. Place that into an oven at 350 for a half hour. And there you go. It's all melted, the cheese. It was really delicious. Okay, moving on to our final recipe, which is the blueberry French toast casserole. Very easy, make ahead recipe, and it has a lot of flavor, and I think it's really good for brunch as well. You're going to need about 14 to 16 ounces of day-old bread, sourdough bread, French bread, whatever kind of bread you want, cut into 1-inch cubes. You're going to need a cup of blueberries, 6 large eggs, maple syrup, cinnamon, vanilla extract, salt if you'd like, lemon juice, and did I miss something? Oh, the vanilla, unsweetened vanilla almond milk, or any milk of your choice. So basically what we're going to start with is a greased casserole dish with non-stick spray. And we're going to I just took the bread really and just ripped it apart into pieces and just made sure that I had the entire bottom of the casserole dish covered with the bread. Again, you can use French bread. I just used the plain white toasted bread. And of course, a day-old bread probably tastes better, but I toasted it just to give it, a little extra flavor. And I think it worked really well. And I made a small casserole dish. Again, I reduced a lot of these recipes just for our family. All the information, the full recipe will be down below. I believe the original one that I had actually makes a servings for 12, which is, again, really nice to have for a brunch. Okay. So what I did was go ahead and mix all the ingredients. That is going to be the eggs, the almond milk, the maple syrup, lemon juice, vanilla, cinnamon, and I did not use salt in mine, but you can if you'd like to. You're just going to mix that all up. I think next time when I make it, I'm going to add even more cinnamon and a little more vanilla. That's just my preference, but of course, you don't have to. You can stick to the recipe if you'd like. Okay. So now we're going to do the almond milk. Again, the recipe does say that you can, use a milk of your choice if you prefer coconut milk or, regular almond without the vanilla. You can use that. Regular whole milk, whatever you'd like. I think this recipe would also be delicious if you decided to use strawberries or bananas, some raspberries. I think any of the fruits or berries that you would want to add to it. Even probably apples would do really well, and add more cinnamon to it. I think it would make it really delicious. So now we're going to go ahead and mix everything through. I started with my little mini spatula, but then I switched over to a fork. Really, should have used a whisk. And once that is all mixed together, we're going to go back to the casserole dish with the pieces of the toast already cubed out. And we're going to go ahead and add our blueberries on top of it. Again, at this time, if you had other fruits that you wanted to add at the berries, you could certainly do that. Then we're going to go ahead and add the egg mixture right on top of it. Just pour it over it completely. Just want to make sure that all of the liquid is distributed evenly. And then you're going to cover it with some plastic wrap. And this has to be refrigerated. The minimum is 2 hours, or it also suggests to go ahead and refrigerate it for 2 hours. I'm sorry, not 2 hours, overnight. I refrigerated it for 2 hours because that was all I had, for time-wise for that day. And after the 2 hours or overnight, you're going to take it out and remove the plastic wrapping. Going to place it in an oven for 350 degrees for about 45 to 55 minutes until it's golden brown on top. And there you go. It was delicious. best way to me to have it is to actually slice it out and put a little powdered sugar on it. You could certainly add more maple syrup. And that's it, the blueberry French toast casserole. I hope you've enjoyed all 3 of these recipes. If you have, please comment below, like. Please don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell so you know when I post my next video. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you watching today. Hope you've enjoyed it. Have a great day.